Hey everybody, second video today. Technically not, I guess, because it's 12:05 now, and I recorded the first episode of the Adam Sandler month last episode yesterday. You can go check that out. It's up on the channel. It's a review of Going Overboard, Shakes the Clown, and Mixed Nuts. Two horrible movies and one decent Christmas movie. But anyway, I went and saw a movie in theaters last night. I said, why not check it out? I have nothing to do. Go get that matinee ticket. $10 at your local Harkins to go see a movie that I thought was going to be downright fucking horrible. I had no expectations for this movie at all, and I thought it was going to be one of the worst things I've ever watched, and I'm happy to report it was not that bad. I am, of course, talking about the 2024 remake of the 1994 classic, The Room. The Room? What the hell? Oh my god. I talked about The Room on the podcast this last week, and that's a movie that is getting a 2025 remake with Bob Odenkirk. You should probably check it out. But I'm talking about The Crow. The classic The Crow that had Brandon Lee in it originally. Rest in peace. He actually died on the making of this film, but we are going to be talking about the 2024 version that has FK Twigs and Bill Skarsgård. So let me just read my Letterboxd review to kind of get into it. Follow me on Letterboxd, Ryan Pink 2003. Got to shout that out in every episode now. So I said this movie was not a fantastic movie by any means. It's probably not even considered a conventionally good movie because it's not. But damn it, I had fun, and a lot of it. The first 20-30 minutes of this movie are beyond boring, and I'll get into that. There's a lot of problems with the writing in this movie. But holy shit, does it kick off when it kicks off. My phone fell down the fucking crack. I said, I now know why Bill Skarsgård is a very popular Joker fan cast. He's absolutely awesome in most parts of this movie, especially towards the end when he does become the Crow. I mean, at first, there's some awful love writing, like the first 30 minutes of this movie, 30, 45 minutes. I said, I hope, however, whatever James Gunn does with the DCU, they make him an anti-hero because he's great in this. I thought this movie wasn't good in a conventional sense, but this was the second or third. I said second in my Letterboxd review, but it might be third because I also really enjoyed Long Legs, which another review for on this channel. But obviously, my first best theater experience so far this year was Deadpool Wolverine because that was a phenomenal theater experience. But yeah, this was also a really good theater experience. I went and saw it by myself because nobody wanted to go see fucking The Crow with me on a Wednesday afternoon at 3:40 p.m., and I do not blame them. This was also a pretty long movie. It was almost 2 hours. But yeah, I said this movie is an absolutely awesome action revenge movie. The story is pretty iffy when it comes to a faithful adaptation of the 1994 one. Once he becomes the Crow, it's a pretty faithful adaptation. But before, like all the intro stuff, it just really didn't do it for me. There's a lot of demonic stuff, and they give the main villain powers, and I don't think that happens in the original. I have not seen the original in years, but I'm pretty sure it's just a street gang in the original. But the gore in this movie, oh my god, the gore's amazing. There's this really cool scene where the Crow is like, he's invincible, but he still feels like the pain of his like injuries. So he gets stabbed through the chest, and he like lowers himself onto like the guy who stabbed him. So he like his like the sword, like he gets stabbed through the throat, I think, and the sword like goes through the other guy's eye. It's really cool. And there's also this really cool scene where this guy, he's standing there like one of the guards, and he goes to put a toothpick in his mouth, and the sword just goes right through his mouth, kind of pops out of the camera, and I'm like, that's an awesome scene. There's also another one, and these are all in like the same action sequence, by the way. Like the gore in this movie, awesome. But there is another part where he's fighting with the dude, and then the dude like falls over, and he slices him with a sword, and it just cuts his mouth in half, and his like jaws hanging off. And they show it. They show like the whole thing, no camera cuts, no fancy anything. It's just like that's the shot. And I thought that was really cool. And I know this was a rated R movie, but I was still surprised a movie would show a shot that inventive. Like there's multiple times like this movie made me wince. There's like one part where at the very end, he's fighting the dude, and the guy gets like his head on like one of the stairs, and you're like, oh, he's just gonna stab him. He just stomps on his neck, and just it has the grossest neck snap like animation, and like the dude just laying there with like his neck with like the bone out. It's crazy. Um, I This movie's not worth going to see in theaters, honestly, unless you're going with a group of friends, because I feel like you'll enjoy it with a group of friends. But when this movie inevitably hits streaming, I'm probably going to go on Max. And this just feels right at home with like the stuff they have on Max when it hits around Halloween time. Like this is going to be a perfect Halloween release, and I definitely check it out. The writing is bad. The writing's really bad, but the first half it's like fun bad. It's where like Bill Skarsgård and FK Twig's characters are like instantly falling in love, and there's a really weird scene where Bill Skarsgård's like drawing her naked, and she sees the picture of it, and instead of being freaked out like a normal fucking person, she's like, "Oh my god, I love this." Yeah, and then they break out of rehab, and they're like, "We're rehabilitated," and then they do drugs like 2 minutes later, which yeah, it's fine. I don't really give a shit. And the stupidest thing is they're on the run from this like evil organization where so the main villain when he the way he's immortal because he sells souls to the devil and in turn gets immorality. And he's doing that, but the way he does it is he like whispers into the people's ears and then he makes them kill themselves, which is a really cool like power. I mean, it's a really cool plot device they use. It's kind of like the Bird Box monsters where you like see them and then you are compelled to just kill yourself. Um, but FK Twigs' character and two other characters, like this Asian girl and this dude named Dom, I forget the Asian girl's name. They see it, and the villain like makes FK Twigs like kill somebody else. So I guess it's not just suicide, but it like takes you over and pulls out the darkest parts of your soul or something. And then they end up escaping, and FK Twigs is trying to run away, and she bumps into a cop, and a bunch of coke falls out of her bag, like coke and pills, which bad luck. And then she gets put in a rehab facility, and she meets Bill Skarsgård's character, who is there. I don't know. They don't really explain why, but he's there. He has a drug addict mother. We'll just make that the reason. They say that in the movie, so I guess family trauma. I guess. But they instantly fall in love. They break out, and they have these people after them. So what do? Do they hide? Do they do the sensible stuff? Oh, for like a week. Then they start going out to fucking like vacations with friends. They start partying. They start going to clubs, and that's how they get found out. Because fucking obviously, that's how they get found out. But other than the stupid ass writing of this movie, it's a really fun time. Go check it out. Action scenes are awesome. This is a total popcorn bucket movie. Just go enjoy it. Check it out. Peace, guys. I will talk to you all later. Probably going to be doing daily uploads for about the next month while we get this Adam Sandler fucking debacle figured out with the 60 fucking movies of Adam Sandler that I have to do. Episodes of the podcast will be coming out on Saturday. Well, I'll talk about this more in the podcast tomorrow, which will be released on Saturday, so you guys will hear it on Saturday, but I'll also say it here. We are moving the podcast date. Right now we record on Thursdays. Starting in September because Noah has school and Nate's going to a night shift at his job. We are going to be recording on Saturdays and then uploading on Sundays. So all it does is it moves the podcast a day back for you guys, which I don't think is that big of a deal. But we will see all you guys later. I will see you. I'll probably come out with a video on Friday. If not, I will see you guys when the podcast drops on Saturday. Anyways, have a great rest of your day, guys. I'm going to go to bed soon. It is midnight. But I will see you guys all later. Peace.